Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on a recent sort of updated version. This one will be of the hypothetical matchup between Superman and God Mode, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku. Who would win in a battle to the death? Okay, so it's been almost 4 years, December 2011, since I posted my first Goku versus Superman video here on YouTube. Was the first one to actually post it in a hypothetical matchup of who would win between the two. So since then, lots of other people have done their takes on it, lots of other people have given their thoughts on it. My opinion has always basically been the same, but we'll get into some different, scenarios when it's not exactly, the winner isn't always the same winner depending on which version of each character you pick. In this scenario, we're picking Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, our new blue-haired version of Goku, and we're choosing like our, kind of modern, current, new 52 Superman, or Superman, I guess, right now or in the last few years. So ScrewAttack went ahead and did their second kind of updated video, and I'll put the link in the description to that. You guys can check it out. And they go into a lot of details, about 20 minutes. They go into the backstory of the characters, and they, use all kinds of stuff from the shows and stuff like that, which I'm not sure how they get away with, because if I did that shit, I would get striked in like a week. But that said, it's a big thing on the web. A lot of people watch it. A lot of people are into it. They're like, oh, who did ScrewAttack say? As if they're basically law, even though, people have done it before them, and they're not the first ones to even conceive of hypothetical matchups like this. Not saying I am either. This is something that, geeks have talked about forever. Back in the 90s, you had Marvel versus DC. I actually own the comic books of, who would win. You've got the Hulk against Superman, or, different characters, Thor against Superman, stuff like this. So it's fun to kind of give our thoughts on who would win between a couple characters. Now, this one, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, and our current sort of, or last few years, Superman. Who would win between the two? So ScrewAttack, went ahead and did theirs, and they said that they would go with Superman. Superman. This is their argument. Okay, their argument is Superman is his powers are limitless. Superman is invulnerable. Superman has God mode, so to speak. He's got a reality cheat. He's like a character in a video game that has a hack, has God mode turned on. So he is absolutely invulnerable. His powers are limitless. And Goku's powers do have limits, so therefore Superman must win. So that's the whole argument. The whole argument is Superman is God, and he cannot lose, therefore he must win. That's what it is. That's the entire argument. He is invulnerable, he is unstoppable, so he must win. There's no way anybody else could beat him. But if you look at all the different years of Superman, comics, and yes, they're choosing a new version of Superman that does not have that deep of a comic history as our regular kind of either pre-crisis, post-crisis Superman, where there has been so many years of comic books released from from DC for them. But my current vision of Superman still remains to be this: Superman is any version except for Superman Prime 1 million, because Superman Prime 1 million is so far in the future, so far ahead. You can look up who it is. I've done a video on that. In that version, yes, Superman Prime 1 million is way too powerful for any version we've had of Goku thus far, or almost any character at all in any comic books. Because he's so far in the future. Maybe Dr. Manhattan or something like that will give him a good, run for his money. But I would probably still, I'd go Superman Prime 1 million over basically anybody, pretty much. Because that's your kind of God mode Superman. It's so many years in the future. He's absorbed so much sun that his cells are just, he's studied under the source. He's like this. He's this imaginative, fantastical idea of as uber and as invulnerable and crazy powerful as any character could ever be. That's Superman Prime 1 million. So yeah, he beats everybody. But your regular Superman, okay, even the new 52 one, your post-crisis, pre-crisis, they're not limitless. They're not invulnerable. Yes, Superman cells will absorb sunlight, yellow, regular sun, red sun, not the same, hurts him or weakens him. And his cells will do that, and they will convert that into power to keep his power stable and increase. And as he's fighting and stuff, that is kind of a part of where you get the kind of the Man of Steel idea, where the stamina, he has incredible speed, stamina, and everything, because he's basically regenerating at a speed based on what he's absorbing, right? So his power is he's constantly strong, right? But he has lost many times. So how do you account for if his powers are limitless and he loses to characters such as, let's say, in all the years of comics, there's so many different characters DC has made, especially the Justice League stuff, because they throw in some crazy, they come up with some insane villains for Justice League, that has to fight the whole league and stuff, or groups of villains. But so, it doesn't always include Kryptonite to beat Superman. You could have characters that are kind of your uber powerful ones, like your Doomsday, your Darkseid, your who knows what the hell. Go through the Justice League comics and look at all the different crazy, there's so many crazy uber powerful characters that are in your god type range, cosmic, being type range. And when you see that, and you see Superman lose, how do you account for that if his powers are limitless? I just don't see that. I don't see it as you can just say, he's unstoppable, he's invulnerable, but he's lost a lot of times. He's lost so many times. He gets tired. If he's invulnerable, if his powers are limitless, why does he get tired? He gets tired because it's only so fast he can absorb that energy and use that energy, right? And basically, same as we're eating food, you eat some food. There's only so fast you can absorb that into energy to produce, to fight, or to even move, right? There's a speed at which he's going to be absorbing that. When he fights characters such as Darkseid or Doomsday or any of these really, really, really powerful, if it was the Hulk, if you want to say, hypothetical matchup between them, for example, which I have done a breakdown of who would win between him and the Hulk as well. There's a speed at which he is absorbing the energy. And if he's using the energy faster than he can absorb it, he's going to be in the negative. He's going to be reducing. And as he's fighting a character like, Darkseid or Doomsday or any of the others that you can pick from all the years of comics, there's so many, it's insane, that have even not necessarily beaten him, but made him tired or weakened him. Right? Because if his powers are limitless, he can never be weakened. His limit is always God mode. It's always, you can't even touch him. But he does. He gets weaker. He gets tired. These things happen as he's fighting. So I would say that, you can't really look at him in his regular form as in any of the different versions. Yes, they're different. Sometimes they have different power levels and different crazy things. And sometimes if they fly faster than the speed of light, the time will reverse and insane shit that doesn't make any goddamn sense if you look into the practicality of it. But anyway, in our actual, regular universe reality. But, you can't say that he is 100% God mode, invulnerable, cannot lose to anybody. Powers are truly beyond measure. They'll say the same as the Hulk. That same argument for the Hulk. The Hulk's strength is limitless. He has no limits to his... Everything has limits. When you see these characters weaken or lose against a villain, something of the sort, what you're seeing their limits being pushed, right? If Darkseid and Superman are both limitless, they will just fight forever, and the fight will never end. They'll just fight indefinitely until everything is destroyed, basically, around them. So for me personally, the way I view Superman, yes, he is one of those he's at a cosmic level, right? He's at the kind of cosmic level. But to say that he is completely and totally invulnerable, cannot know nothing, cannot have any negatives at all in terms of fighting or energy or anything, I think is ridiculous. You can't say that. You can't just say he's God mode, so therefore he beats everybody. That's it. You can't argue with me. You can't see any other perspective because he's invulnerable. He's Superman, so that's it. That's the end of the argument, right? That's totally closed-minded. He is not invulnerable. His powers are not limitless. There is a speed at which he can regenerate. He can absorb, the energy from the sun, solar energy, and produce, be able to produce energy from it. So all you have to do is take a character like Doomsday or Darkseid. If they make him expel enough energy, he starts to lose energy. And, he will, if it goes on long enough, eventually, that other character could defeat him, which is how you account for all the times that he has lost or been weakened or gotten tired or anything of the sort. So that's my thought on it. And you can point to all kinds of different times throughout the course of both characters in their history and in all the years of Superman comic books. I mean, all the thousands and thousands of comic books he's had, including everything he's been in or movies or whatever. You can point to all kinds of different times that he did this ridiculous shit that just doesn't make any goddamn sense. But it's not because of him. It's because some writer came up with some nonsense that just doesn't even make any sense at all. But it's Superman. I like the Family Guy one where he throws the S. He throws the S on Zod. And so I was like, what was that? He's like, I don't know. I just, I came up with some ridiculous shit. That's Superman. You just come up with whatever nonsense you can think of, and it makes it super. It makes sense, right? So, my argument is always the same that it always has been. Superman does have limits. He has limitations. Everything has limits. Everything. It's just when you're at that kind of a level that's so high, when they're not tested, you don't see the limits, right? And also another thing about him is he's not often pushing his limits, right? He's not usually trying to train, trying to push his limits, trying to get better, trying to become a better fighter, trying to study and train, martial arts. And, in terms of that, like I said in my last video, why I think Goku would win between your regulars, right? Goku's always trying to get better. He's always pushing his limits. And if you use a God mode Goku against your God mode Superman, right? And you say that their powers are even remotely close, who's a better fighter between the two? Who's trained more? Who's tougher? Who knows what it is to really push themselves, right? And really, I don't know. Just for me anyway, I see Goku as taking this just because he's so much better of a fighter than Superman. His technique is a million times better. He's pushed himself way more times, and he's been fighting characters that are at his kind of range rather than, stopping volcanoes from erupting or, catching planes that are, that are crashing or whatever the hell else Superman is up to on a daily basis. Or seeing Lois or taking pictures, all that good stuff, right? Got to take pictures, so important. So I'd say personally Goku wins. A better martial artist. If you use Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, he is, I would say, plenty powerful enough in terms of power level to, drain Superman, to beat him faster and use his martial arts and just his technique to wear him down faster than Superman could recuperate or could regenerate his energy as they're fighting. And just like Doomsday or Darkseid or any of these other characters, tire him down, but eventually I would say with Goku's techniques, with his abilities, he would beat him. So, those are my thoughts on it. I say Goku wins just by virtue of him being so much better of a fighter, using a God mode, for both, I guess you would say, and putting them even close to the same power range. I don't think Superman would be able to land hardly a blow. So let me know what you guys think. Write your comments below, and I hope you enjoyed. There's my kind of take on it in Superman's, this idea that he is, if you're like that, then you could never, ever lose, ever. And that's just not the case. Superman loses all the time in the comic books. I wouldn't say all the time, but sometimes in the comic books, there are villains that are a lot more powerful than him, and he will lose. Let me know what you guys think. Write your comments below. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. If you want to support the channel, please share, please favorite. And if you're new and you want to see more from me, you want to go ahead and subscribe at the bottom left, then go ahead and subscribe. So for this one, see you guys again real soon. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace.